morning, my name is Catherine. I'm guide of this beautiful city, St. Petersburg. Welcome. Catherine's Palace is something like Peterhof Palace. This is also a beautiful, luxurious Baroque palace. But if you compare to palace in Peterhof, in Catherine's Palace we also have one very important highlight, and this is the amber room. This is the whole room, which walls are made of amber. By the way, this room is very important for us because during the Second World War this room was completely destroyed, and we still don't know where is this old original amber. This room has been quite recently reconstructed in 2003, so today we can see this wonder of the world again. Petersburg is actually cultural capital of Russia, and practically each house in our city is a museum. Of course, the most famous things in our city are the Hermitage Museum, which is the largest art collection in the world. There are about 3 million exhibits.
That building is really magnificent. We've got collections of Matisse, Van Gogh. We've got 2 pictures by Leonardo da Vinci, the second largest collection of Rembrandt in the world after Amsterdam Museum. If you stand by each exhibit about 1 minute, it will take you 7 years. St. Petersburg is known as Venice of the North because there are a lot of canals, a lot of rivers.
The main waterway of our city, that's the Neva River. That's the main waterway that actually forms 42 islands and is famous all over the world.
It starts from Lake Ladoga and flows into the Gulf of Finland.
And of course, in St. Petersburg we have a lot of interesting churches, like St. Isaac Cathedral, like the Church on Spilled Blood.
This church was built to commemorate Alexander II, who was killed by a terrorist. This church is built in the place where he was actually assassinated. And that's why it is called the Church in the Spilled Blood, because the blood of the Tsar was spilled there.
So there was a Russian emperor during the very controversial times of our history. That was 19th century, and there were a lot of movements, political movements, groups of people who wanted to change how everything was going on back then. And there were 7 attempts on his life, and they knew it in advance. So he was driving near the canal where the church is now, and he was in the bulletproof carriage, and then there were 2 bombs thrown into the carriage, and eventually he dies after 2 hours later in the Hermitage, and so that's why we have this name.
People felt really sorry that the Tsar was killed, and that's why they donated a lot of money to build this church and to commemorate the Tsar liberator.
Today we were head to Peterhof, which is the summer residence of the Russian Tsars. It was founded by Peter the Great. As you know, Peter the Great founded our city, St. Petersburg, and also Peterhof was very important strategical point at that time. But with the time, Peterhof became one of the most splendid summer residences. So this is the capital of fountains. There are more than 100 beautiful fountains, and this place is very beloved not only by foreign visitors but also by citizens of St. Petersburg. Peter the Great lived in the 18th century, and Peter the Great is very important for our country, for Russia, and also for our city, because he opened Russia to Europe, and he gave Russia opportunity to go to Europe. And we say that Peter the Great, with founding of St. Petersburg, opened the window to Europe.
It looked very modest, but when Peter the Great died and his successors came, first Elizabeth, then Catherine the Great, it was rebuilt several times, and now it looks very magnificent. I was born in the city, and I like it very much. I'm used to all this beauty, and when I go to some other places, I can't stay there for a long time because I start to miss it.
I just love this job, and I wake up every morning at 5 o'clock, but with a great mood. I'm proud of this history. You know, sometimes we step on the cobblestones and we do not know how much importance it was for other people. There were so many things going on, and it's interesting to respect what we had. We had the imperial times, we had Soviet times, it was all Russia. It has pros, it has cons, but it's our country, so.
I think St. Petersburg is a marvelous city, and everybody must visit it at least once alive.